Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video, I am going to be showing you how to make what I believe is one of the most versatile types of gas forges that you can make. And depending on where you find your fire brick at, it can be one of the most economical types of gas forges that you can make as well. So as you can see here, I have a pile of fire bricks. Now these are the 9-inch and some change. I'll put the dimensions up on the screen here. These are some like 9-inch and some change by basically like 2 3/4 or something like that, 2.5-inch fire bricks that I bought. I actually got these insulating fire bricks. That's an important distinction. You want to have insulating fire bricks. You don't want to have you don't want to get hard fire bricks. You want insulating fire bricks for this type of project. But I got these over on Amazon. I will have affiliate links to all the stuff that I mentioned, all the tools that I use for this project down in the description down below. So be sure to check those out. It's a great way of supporting the channel at no extra cost to you. This is just a very simple fire brick forge. Now, for most of you out there, longtime viewers, I'm sure you probably are very well aware of fire brick forges and how they operate and how you can build them. But for those that may be a little bit more on the uninitiated side of things, what a fire brick forge is, or a loose brick forge, is it's just where you take a bunch of bricks, you make a pile, and you shove a heating torch inside of them. Essentially, in a nutshell, that's what it is. Now, one of the great things about this is you can go everything from a single brick forge style, where you just use one fire brick, all the way up to where you can put 2 fire bricks together and have something in between them. You know, you can have basically a hollow space that you drill or work out in the center, carve out of the center, and fire a brick into the side of it. Or you can do a stacked brick forge of any shape, size, dimension, or styling that you feel fit, that you feel necessary. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made that. Now, one of the great things about this soft insulating fire brick is it's super carvable. Like, you can take a pocket knife, or I wouldn't do that. You could take a spoon from your kitchen and use it as a carving tool and carve out depressions, or you can even use it as like a spoon drill and drill out holes with it if you wanted to as well. This soft brick, it really does, when you first get it, it's super soft, and you could just carve away the material, which makes forge alterations a pretty quick and slick process. It also means that with any sort of carpentry saw or metal cutting saw, you can cut the bricks really super easily. These cut really fast and easy on stuff like that. They do, however, produce a large quantity of dust, so something to keep in mind is make sure you wear your respirator when you make this. So anyways, some of the things you'll need for this project, I bought it's a 6-pack of fire bricks is what I purchased. They come in smaller quantities. You can get 4 bricks. You can get whatever you need. Hell, you could stack this up to a great big forge and stick a weed burner in the middle of it if you buy enough fire bricks, and make a super huge forge. That is what makes this the most versatile type of gas forge that money can buy and that you can make. For this, I got a small weed burner. Not sure the brand on this. This is the cheapest little weed burner I could find on Amazon. I believe the price on this, it was like right around $20-ish or so, shipped to doorstep. Again, super cheap. Actually worked out pretty well. It is kind of a chintzy thing, so it'd be worth upgrading to a different type of a different type of torch, or a little small rosebud torch in the future if I ever needed to do that. But for this demonstration, for this type of brick forge, this works just fine. So, you're going to need a torch, you need your fire bricks, and then you're going to need some hole saws. So you'll need a hole saw kit. I got a simple hole saw kit here. This isn't anything fancy or super expensive. This is like really just a cheap, very cheap hole saw kit. It has all sorts of different sizes and things to it, and basically I use this, and I was able to turn manually a hole into this brick without any power tools whatsoever. So really, power tools aren't necessarily needed. So that's it. I mean, that's what you need: a bottle to hook your torch up to, and you're in business. You drill one hole enough to stick the torch nozzle in, and boom, you're up in forging. There's no mess, there's no coatings, there's no nothing like that. Now, speaking of coatings, these fire bricks, they're made of various different manufacturers, have various compositions of these. I do not know what these are fully made from, what they are in here, but there is still a chance of getting particulate matter in your lungs if you're not careful. So I highly suggest that you wear respiration when cutting or drilling these, and you work in a well-ventilated space if you are just going to use a stack bricked forge, especially when it's a soft insulating fire brick, just to protect yourself from any health hazards that may be there or not. Again, don't stick your face in the forge, right? Don't be huffing the fumes that come out of the forge. That's basically the long and short of it. Use some intelligence, right? Price-Centered Ironworks is sponsored by BlacksmithSupply.com and viewers like you. Be sure to check out BlacksmithSupply.com for all your forging needs. Now back to the video. Now, I will say there's one downside to a stack brick forge, and it's really kind of, in my opinion, the only real downside to a stack brick forge. Well, we'll say two. There's two downsides. Two downsides to a stack brick forge. One, it's a stack of bricks. So that means this can be moved around or monkeyed with. They're not very portable in the fact, like you can't put them on a stand and go bouncing around the shop with them or something, right? Bricks are going to slide. If these fall off, they're fairly fragile once they've been baked quite a bit by the forge fire, and they'll break and shatter. You know, the other downside to these bricks is they crack and they eventually spall and fall apart. It's a consumable item. So the way to think about a stack brick forge is this is to take and get a job done. You use it up just like you would use any other gas forge where the liner might fail after a period of time and you have to reline it. It's the same thing with a stack brick forge. You could just go buy some more fire bricks and throw on whatever you need whenever you need it. But these bricks will eventually break down over time. Now, the bricks that I have selected, that I purchased and that's in the link down below, the bricks that I selected are high temp rating fire bricks. So they are meant to hold fairly hot temperatures versus some of the cheaper bricks that are out there that you can get that were not made to handle these high temps, and they melt right around about 1900 degrees or just under 2000 degree fire brick. These are 2700 degree fire bricks. You can get fire bricks that do 3200 and up, and so you may want to look into that if you plan on doing a lot of like welding. If you're going to stack these up and put like a professional burner into the side of one of these and get it up to welding heat, you may want to look into having some fairly high temp rated bricks, or that would go without saying. Again, the 2000 degree and under fire bricks are cheaper, but this little forge, just in the short time that I used it and brought it up to temperature, got all the way up to 1880 degrees. And so on a 2000 degree fire brick, you're going to start seeing some melting, and you'll start seeing it kind of glass up on the inside, which isn't the greatest because then your steel ends up getting stuck. It sticks to your steel and creates kind of a mess of your forge. So definitely splurge a little bit if you're going to do a stack brick forge. Again, I do believe, you guys can argue it out in the comment section down below, I do believe a stack brick forge is the most versatile forge, the most versatile gas forge that you could possibly make. Now, is this a beginner level forge? Yes. It's a beginner level forge. It's a professional smith's forge. It's an everyman's and every woman's type forge. Again, it's made to suit and fit your project. And I think that's something, I'll digress here for a second. That is something that doesn't get talked enough about gas forges when people are saying, hey, is this a good forge? Or hey, is that a good forge? It's not talked enough about that gas forges were never meant to be a one and done forge. That is a coal forge. A coal forge is a one and done forge. You can shape the fire however you want around, insulate your piece, and heat up all sorts of weird angles and objects, and you name it. You can do everything from knives all the way to the most elaborate gate that you've ever forged in your life in a coal forge. But gas forges were never meant to be the jack of all trades. you size a gas forge according to the work that you're doing. So if you've got knife work to do, why have a forge that has an area like a 55-gallon drum to just stick small pocket knives in? That's ludicrous. You're just spending a crazy amount of money for nothing. And so therefore, versatility in the shape and design of your gas forge can be very, very important. If you are getting into gas forges, it's always my recommendation that you size the gas forge according to your work or what you think you might want to do potentially. Here in the shop, I have multiple gas forges. I have everything from little small forges for small, tiny work, all the way up to great big 3-burner gas forge for, doing large architectural pieces out of, and they all have their purpose. Just think of them as just a bigger or smaller torch with an insulating chamber, and that insulating chamber is going to dictate what you can stick in there. So that's where I think that a stack brick forge is a worthy option that you should take and consider in your shop. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. God bless each and every last one of you, and thank you to all the channel members that make the content here on Christ Center Ironworks possible, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.